All right. I'm going to challenge you today. I'm going to challenge you to dare to be different. Innovation is a state of mind. It's not a job title and it's not an industry. It has to be in every single one of you. It's about you. It's about people and it's about minds. And it's about how open you are to innovate and how open you are to innovation. Because in my experience, innovation requires humility, utter determination, creativity, but above all, teamwork. So the title of my speech, it had these 5 very strange words written there, and I'm sure you were wondering about them. Innovative, pragmatic, affordable, IP protected, IP meaning intellectual property, patents protected. And I would also add another 3, regulatory approved, scientific, and above all, relevant. What do these words mean? They're actually my innovation criteria. Actually, I shouldn't say they are mine, they are my team's innovation criteria. These words are the impossible list of things, and I say impossible, you'll understand shortly, the impossible list of things that I ask my scientists, my lawyers, my finance, my engineers. I want them all to come together with a solution that satisfies every single one of those words all at the same time. It's impossible, but it can be done. I know that if we meet that innovation criteria, my team can come up with some truly innovative, game-changing, life-changing solutions for the world. Not just for people in the United States, not just for people in Hong Kong, people in Africa, China, etc. What do I mean by these words? Well, innovative. Well, it means to solve a known problem that no one else has solved before. Pragmatic. Hey, there's no point in coming up with a great idea that isn't of use in the world. Affordable. I think you've heard it from both of the previous speakers. You can come up with the best technology in the world, but if people cannot afford to purchase it or use it, what have you got? IP protected. Now, a lot of you here are innovators. A lot of you here are here to make a difference. But a lot of you here are also as entrepreneurs. And from one entrepreneur to the many out there, it's very important that whatever you create from a business perspective, you're protecting. Make sure that you understand the laws to protect the intellectual property that you've created, because ultimately, that's the value that you're able to sell. I added 3 other words. In my world, in healthcare, regulatory approvals are essential. But guess what? Regulation and innovation, they clash. You can imagine that the laws in the world are often 20 years behind innovation, whether you're talking about computer innovation, healthcare innovation, etc. The laws are very old. Innovation, by definition, is the future. So you need to have someone on your team that can help you get through the regulatory requirements. And believe me, for any industry that you're talking about, there are going to be those areas that you need to overcome. From a business perspective, that means you can get your products into the market quickly. It means on the other side, if you don't get that right, you're going to have a great innovation that you cannot bring into the market. The last 2, scientific, that's my particular area. Of course, in healthcare, anything that we do needs to be scientific, it needs to be evidence-based, it needs to be proven, and it needs to be proven at a very, very high level. And that requires a lot of meticulous, a very meticulous approach. And it also has to be, above all, everything else, relevant. Again, not much of a point of coming up with something that's innovative if it's not really relevant to anyone. So you have to really understand where the gaps are. For us as business people, as innovators, you have to be innovating into a gap where no one else has been before. And part of the problem of innovation is trying to find that gap. It's really quite hard to do. And actually, you will find you need a lot of minds to help identify the gap in order to be able to solve the problem for it. So, that list of words, 8 words, that's our innovation criteria. Now, you're probably wondering, who am I to be standing here in front of so many wonderful people to talk to you about innovation? Well, I am the CEO of a biotech company here in Hong Kong, proud to be based here in Hong Kong, probably one of the only ones in Hong Kong. And we're dedicated to saving lives, and we're dedicated to saving lives everywhere in the world. So again, not just about saving lives for the rich, but also the poor. We're very focused on prevention. Again, it's an area that not many people in healthcare are looking at, is why don't we just prevent people from getting sick in the first place? Wouldn't that be a smarter and cheaper and safer way than to let them get sick and then try and cure them with expensive drugs and at great cost to society and to that person? One of our game-changing technologies is an antimicrobial face mask. This solved the problems of normal face masks. I can see a couple in the audience already. The problem with normal face masks is that whilst they are very important to try and protect us from infectious diseases, at the same time, you're actually creating germs. You're putting germs into them. You're breathing into them. People are touching them, etc. So normal face masks can actually be quite dangerous. They can actually transfer diseases. The other problem is that they're difficult to breathe through. So how were we going to be able to solve for filtering out tiny viruses, highly infectious viruses, and also kill them at the same time, and do it safely, economically? Well, it's a long story, but we did do it. We achieved it. We've, as a result, changed the entire industry for face masks, a true game-changing technology. But most importantly, we received FDA approval for our technology. Not just a normal FDA approval, but they created an entirely new medical device category for our technology, which is proof of the innovation that's behind it. All born here in Hong Kong. This is the first time for Hong Kong, first time for China. So, as a result, millions of lives are going to be saved by this technology. Again, proudly born here in Hong Kong. And that's why I think I have the right to stand on this stage today. So, what else does Filligent do? We look for health gaps. So, when I said innovation gaps, we look for innovation gaps as it relates to health. And we look for places where people fear to go. And this is something that you need to look at for yourselves, is where is it that no one else is? Where is there an absolute need, but why isn't anyone in there? And it's usually because people fear to go into that area because 1, it's too expensive, 2, it's deemed technically impossible, and 3, often because there are societal reasons why it's not a cool thing to do. And yet, if we solve that, millions of lives can be saved. That's the area that we like. When we talk about health gaps, that's our sweet spot. Because when someone says something's impossible to us, we're in there. So, it's actually quite hard then, once you've got an impossible situation that you've said that you're going to solve, how do you go about doing that? Well, I'm often asked, for example, this face mask is just one of the things that we've done and created. I'm often asked, how is it that a small company in Hong Kong can create game-changing technologies for the healthcare industry? Not just healthcare, but also military, for consumer goods, a whole bunch of different industries. How can we do this? We're a tiny little company based here in Hong Kong. We have various steps that we take, and you need to think about this when you're thinking about your next innovation. First of all, we own the issue. We own what the gap is. We identify that gap. The second thing we do is we bring everyone to the table. And that means people from every single area that we can find, because it's all about diversity of minds. I don't care if you're 96 years old. I don't care if you're a 12-year-old. I don't care if you're a street cleaner. I don't care if you're the best virologist in the world. I want everyone at my table, because the best idea wins, and it would be arrogant to think that just one person holds the key to a solution. Very arrogant. So, diversity of minds. Now, that's great. If I bring everyone into the room, so what? The next thing I've got to do is make it a safe environment for people to think freely. And that's actually quite a difficult thing to do here in Hong Kong, because a lot of the schooling system, as I know, I have my children going through school here as well, the schooling system is almost set up to not ask questions and to not, give your voice and have an opinion and justify it. So the number one thing that I have to do with my team is create a safe environment for people, doesn't matter what background, to give us their ideas and to share their ideas, to discuss the ideas, and to dare to be different. It's actually hard to be different, but it's well worth it, and that's every single one of you in the room here. Next thing, ask your team the right questions. Well, it's kind of hard, but by being able to get a group of people in your room, you then have to ask them the right questions. Different ways of thinking about things. Challenge them to think about it in reverse, upside down, 3 dimensions. Very, very key thing to be able to do. And then at the end of the day, we apply that innovation criteria that I spoke about, all those 8 different things, and try and get to one answer at the end of the day. Now, when you think about it, what kind of people do I need in the room to help us as a team come to that solution? And this is the purpose of today's discussion. Innovation is a state of mind. It's not a job title. So I need to be bringing into the room engineers. I need to be bringing in the scientists. I need to be bringing in the marketing team, the legal team, the regulatory team, the finance team, and give them the freedom and the discipline to think freely. So innovation is hard, but it can be done. And the point here for everyone, look around you. Innovation, it is a state of mind. It deserves to be everywhere. Anything that anyone is doing, you should be thinking about it in an open, free way. And to ask yourself a question, are you open to innovation? Are you open to other people's ideas? And then What is your innovation criteria? You people are here for a reason. You're here to grasp ideas and see if you can make a difference in the world. Identify that gap where you can make a difference, and then ask yourself, what is your innovation criteria for that gap? And then I'm going to challenge you. Look around you, because you're going to need a team. To be able to make this real, you're going to need a team, and I bet you've got the team right here in this room. So talk. Thank you.